Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for joining me for this practice. Today we're going to be doing a handstands power flow. So again, whether you have handstand in your practice or maybe you don't quite yet, I'm going to give options for both, but I would suggest that this flow is suitable for somebody who has an existing yoga practice already. But as always, just listening to your body, taking what you need from the practice, having some fun with it, having a bit of freedom with it, adding things in if you want to, or taking things out that you don't want to do. As always, making this practice your practice that I am guiding you in. Okay, so we're going to start standing and just bring the hands down to rest by the side of the body. Close your eyes or take a steady gaze out in front. And thinking about the yamas and niyamas today, and these are our internal and external behaviours that we look at as part of yoga philosophy. And thinking about satya, which is our truth. So this can be about speaking your truth, but in order to speak your truth, to live your truth, then you have to be in a place of awareness, to know yourself, to know your own truth, to really be connected with that, so that you can then share that with others. So sending your gaze inwards, connecting to a strong sense of self, feeling firmly rooted in a strong sense of inner power, inner connection. Noticing how you're standing today. The way that we stand in our practice represents how we stand in the world. How are you holding yourself? How does the ground feel beneath your feet? What are your foundations feeling like today? So taking a moment to check in. Notice any sensations within the body. Notice your breath. Notice how your breath moves, how your breath feels. We'll open the eyes back up now if you had them closed. So coming into a little sequence. On your inhale, bring the hands to heart center and interlace the fingers. As you exhale, push the hands out in front, drop the head down, round through the spine, tuck the tailbone in. Inhale, keep the hands in the interlace, reach them up above the head. Exhale, release the arms down, let it all go. So inhale, hands to heart center, draw the energy in, interlace the fingers. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, draw that energy up. And exhale, release anything that's not serving you. So inhale, draw it in. Exhale, rounding, drop the head. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, release. And last one, inhale, draw the energy into heart center. Exhale, find that rounding, dropping the head. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, let it all go. Shake it off, shake the hands, the arms, releasing any of that stagnant energy. Maybe take a little shake out through the legs. Doesn't matter how you might feel that this looks. I am the one doing this on YouTube in front of you all. But I love love it. Okay, so finish shaking it all off. And then from here, we're going to exhale and draw up the chin down towards the chest. Draw the belly up and in towards the spine. And start to curl the body down. So we're folding forwards with a rounded spine. Bring some softness in the legs. And then if it's accessible and if the palms of your hands are able to come down to the mat here, just playing with shifting a little bit of weight forward. So coming onto the toes and really grounding into the hands as you really draw the rib cage in. So taking some gentle shifts here back and forth. If your hands are not meeting the ground, that's okay. Just hang out there in your fold. So take 2 more shifts, bringing the weight into the hands and then back, into the hands and then back. Well done. Now just relaxing here, hanging down in your fold. Maybe the hands come to the elbows. So letting go. Release the hands if you had them on the elbows. Slowly start to inhale, curl the body up. Tuck the tailbone in. And we're lifting the head up last. Meeting into Tadasana Mountain Pose. Take a big shoulder roll here. And we'll step to the top of the mat. So Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up. Exhale, fold forwards, hinging from the hips. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step or jump the feet back to plank. Inhale, float through into an upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, lift the hips up for downward facing dog. Pausing here, lifting the hips away from the earth. Breathing. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands. Step or float the feet in. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up. Lift the heart away from the tailbone. Exhale, hands through heart center. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, sit the hips back, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, float the hands down to the mat. Step or jump the feet back to plank. Flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot through between the hands, back heel down, reach the fingertips up, warrior one. Open out into your warrior two. Lengthen through that front leg. Inhale, reach forwards, forwards, forwards. Tip from the waist, find your Trikonasana. Gaze comes up to the ceiling. Breathing here. Inhale, lifting away from your Trikonasana. Bring your hands to heart center. Power into your front leg, closing off the hips, finding a warrior three. Well done. Using blocks here if you need to. Press back through the heel of the left foot, staying with your breath. And then from here, bring the hands down to the mat. An option to take a kick, and we're going to switch the legs. So a little kick up to handstand, but with a switch of the legs. So the left leg is going to come down, right leg's going to come back, coming into a warrior one on the other side. Open out now here into warrior two. Lengthen through the front leg. So both legs are lengthened. Inhale, reach forwards, forwards, forwards. Tipping from the waist, open out into your Trikonasana. Breathing. Using blocks or props to support you here if you need to. Inhale, lift the chest. Come away from your Trikonasana. Bring the hands into heart center. Can you power into that front left leg? Close off the hips. Find your warrior three, left side. Pressing back through the left heel. Keep breathing. Hands come down to the mat. Let's kick up to handstand, switch the legs over, and then meet back in a downward facing dog. Inhale, roll, curl the body forward into your plank. And then move through into your chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to your downward facing dog. From here, we're going to step or float the feet in towards the hands. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, sit the hips back, lift the arms. And we're going to go straight back into it. So exhale back into your forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step, or you can do a little jump up to handstand here. Float back to plank and flow through your chaturanga. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra and exhaling back to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to come into our dolphin, so coming down onto the forearms, walking the feet in, and maybe you're working with taking one leg up, bringing it back down, taking the other leg up, bringing it back down. Practice, then you can take your pincher. Just working wherever you're at today. Powering back into the hands now, coming back to a downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale, step this right foot through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up, find your warrior one. Open out into your warrior two. Lengthen through the right leg. Inhale, reach forwards with the right fingertips and pivot from the waist, coming into your Trikonasana. Inhale, lift the chest, coming back up. Hands can come to heart center. Power into this right leg and find your warrior three. Option to reach the arms up by the ears here for anyone who wants a little bit more. Hands come down to the mat or the ground, kicking it up. Switch the legs over. Come into your warrior one, left side. Open out to warrior two. Lengthen through the left leg. Inhale, reach forwards. And exhale, tip from the waist. Left side Trikonasana. Right fingertips reaching up, opening that right shoulder. Breathing. Inhale, lift the chest. Hands to heart center. Bring the weight into the left leg. Find your warrior three, Viparasana three. And reaching the arms up by the ears if that feels good for you. Well done. Hands come down to the mat. Take that little kick. And we'll meet back in a downward facing dog. Lifting the hips away from the ribs. You can always take a child's pose if you need to. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands. Shift the shoulders forward, so we're coming into plank and vinyasa. Inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands, step or jump or float the feet through. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit the hips back, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward, straight back into it. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands back down. Step or jump it back to plank. Flow through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feeling that heat and that fire in the body now. Keep that connection to your body. Keep that connection to how everything feels and what feels right for you. So option now to walk the feet in a little bit, and we're going to take some bunny hops to handstand. So your bunny hops could literally be looking like this. Make sure you stay really strong through the shoulders. So when we're pressing the hands into the mat, really lifting and staying strong through the shoulders. And then meeting back when you're ready in a downward facing dog or a child's pose. You decide. And then we're going to inhale, sweep this right foot through between the hand. Back heel down, reach the fingertips up. So we're in our warrior one. Lengthen through the front leg. And we're going to float this left hand to the outside of the right leg or to a block. Reach the right fingertips up, taking your evolved triangle. Breathing here. From here, seeing if you can stay in the twist. We're bending the legs. We're coming down into a twisted low lunge. Can you shift the hips back, coming into a twisted half split? Feeling those wobbles, those shakes. If you're rolling around on the floor, just know that that's okay. Well done. Bring it back into your low lunge. Unravel from the twist. Hands to heart center. And bring the palms into this chest area and just press the palms of the hands into the chest. This is an acupressure point here. Sea of tranquility. It's really calming for the mind, the soul. Bring your hands down to frame that front foot. Step it back to plank. Take it through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, step the left foot through, back heel down, warrior one. Now lengthen through the front leg and float this right hand to the outside of the left foot, or it can come to a block. Left fingertips reach up. Breathing here. Bend through both legs, drop the back knee down so that we're in this twisted low lunge. See if you can shift the weight back into that right leg so we're in a twisted half split. weight back into the front leg. Unravel, float the hands back to heart center. Oh, bring the hands, press them into the chest bone. And float the hands down to frame the front foot. Step it back to plank. Final vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back to downward facing dog. If anyone wants to take a final kick up to handstand here, then you absolutely can. If you're ready to just melt down into a lying position on your mat, then take it there. And that you want to take, having any handstand playtime that you want to have here. The choice is all yours. And then when you're ready, you're going to drop your knees down to the mat. Bring the hips down and lower yourself down to a lying position on your mat. Let the head and the shoulders connect down to the ground. And then we're going to cactus the arms and drop your knees over to the left side. You can take an extra little hook of the legs if you need to. And drop your head over to the right. Just taking this supine twist. Starting to take some deep breaths. Closing the eyes or taking a steady gaze. And just allowing the body to fully melt into your mat. Let the body be fully received by the ground that's beneath you. And allow yourself to be held and supported. Unhooking the legs, drawing the legs back to center. Pausing in center, taking a breath here. And then drop the knees over to the other side. Head goes over to the left this time, knees over to the right. Allow the body to melt into the twist on this side. And coming back to Satya, or truth. Seeing if you can connect to what your truth is right now, in this moment. How are you feeling today? And just observing whatever comes up. Now starting to unravel, coming away from the twist, back to center. If you have longer, I definitely recommend taking a shavasana here, taking at least 10 minutes to let the practice absorb. And if you're ready to start coming away from the practice, you're going to roll over to one side of your mat. Pause here for a couple of breaths. And then ease your way back up to a seated position on your mat. Keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable. And we'll close off our practice with an optional releasing breath. So I'll count for 3 on the inhale, and on the exhale, breathing out through the mouth. So inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release. Opening the eyes back up when you're ready, coming back into the physical body. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. Handstands is an interesting one. I've been on a long handstand journey myself. So I really hope that you enjoyed it, found that helpful. Do comment and feedback to me on how you're getting on. And as always, any support on this channel is really, really appreciated. And it really all just helps so that I can keep offering this free yoga resource on here for you. So yeah, link below to the other things that I offer and the other things that I do. And I can't wait to hopefully flow with you again very, very soon. So take care. Goodbye.